Welcome back to the Shortcut Live. This is our daily video show where we have main character energy for all things consumer tech. We're in New York City. I'm joined by Max and Kevin, and Adam is in the UK. He's back from his jaunt with the King. He's joining us. That means we have some gaming news. We have some tech news. We are the #1 consumer tech site on Substack, so please subscribe. Go to theshortcut.com. But we're trying a new format. All this week, we tried it at CES. We got 1 million views at CES. Earlier this week, we broke 100,000 views on X, and that was X alone. We're also on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're everywhere where you're streaming different video. And yeah, we want you to drop some love in the comments. Whatever platform you're on, if you're on YouTube, we'll see your comment. We'll bring it up here just like that. If you're on Twitter, you know, keep it civil, but we love those comments most of all. So welcome to the Shortcut Live. We're doing this daily around 1 p.m. every day, Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific. And we have a brand new office. As you can see, this is a different background than yesterday. We're doing a little bit of construction over there. That's going to be a podcast room, but we're in the main room. We have 5,625 square feet to use. The guys are with me. We're here to talk about consumer tech. We got some Apple news, some breaking news there. We saw some leaks. We have some Siri news. So Siri may be getting a lot better, which is
sounds important.
Like it. We have some gaming news at the tail end, some breaking Microsoft Xbox news. They're still in the game, as we like to say.
Still making games.
Still making games. And then TikTok is on the rundown. Lots of changes going on there, what you need to know, and some Nintendo Switch 2 updates. We're kind of known for Nintendo Switch 2, helping people pre-order back when it was a little bit difficult that first month, and also PlayStation 5. A lot of you kind of comment saying, thanks for helping me get the PlayStation 5. That was, you know, kind of a year-long process, but that's how we started the Shortcut, left Tech Radar, doing this new format. And yeah, we welcome your comments. We already see some emojis, which we all love emojis, some more than others on the Shortcut. So
most of us love emojis.
Yes, some of them are you know, some people are gravitating towards it slowly.
We're forced to love them.
No, not forced. No, you either do emojis or you have the option to get fired.
Man, you said I want to see at least 50 pieces of emojis on me.
It's like pieces of flair, right?
Yeah.
From Office Space. Yes. So no, let's start with our top story because we have an hour here. We're gonna go. You know, it's kind of like a weekly podcast, but we're doing it daily, so we get to be a little more reactionary. And the big news that just can't wait for a Friday episode, we're here on Thursday, is that Apple may be developing an AI pin, which is completely ironic given that the Humane AI pin came from ex-Apple developers and designers, right? And now the rumor is, it's just a rumor, that could be Apple's future for integrating AI into your everyday life. They've kind of struggled a little bit with Apple Intelligence. They're going to lean on Google to, you know, Gemini to power its AI capabilities, at least in the beginning. We'll get to that as our second story. But what do we know about this AI pin, supposed AI pin they're developing, and how they're going to do something hopefully different than what Humane did, which went belly up and sold in pieces to HP.
Yeah, so this is like a weird one, right? So it's not going to be, you know, like the smartphone defeater that the Humane pin sort of promised to be. That one had like a projector on it. You could like read stuff on your hand.
Super sci-fi, super cool, but just didn't work out.
Very interesting concept.
Yes,
I think we were all nerding out about it when it was like initially teased and announced and everything, and then it just fell to pieces because it was a piece of crap.
It didn't work as intended, and that we found that with the Rabbit R1 AI companion device that it was, you know, pocket size. This thing, their demos were good when we saw it in person. One might say MWC award winning based on the demos they gave.
Yes,
right. But I think it was Mr. Who's the Boss that mentioned it, where he's like, you notice that the AI pin, they ask it a question, and then during their demo they would talk over that lag time where it answered to like tell you about the AI pin. And you're like, oh, okay, listening to that. And then it would come back with a response. They were kind of filling in that gap of it's retrieving the information and taking a long, long time to, you know, tell you what's in front of you or, you know, whatever answer it had prepared, it took a long time to kind of scour the web for that answer. And once you got it in your hands and started wearing it, you're like, oh, it's actually really awful. Doesn't work. The concept is great.
Once you got the answer back, it was like whether it was going to be correct or not,
Yeah,
which
I
was
mean,
a big problem.
this is all visual intelligence. Like even my Meta glasses, it's not as bad, but it'll get stuff wrong from time to time. Like I'm like looking at the Empire State Building and it'll get it right. And then I was trying to record video of it, answering that question, and it was naming the wrong building. And I'm like, oh man, you did it the first time. I need this on camera now.
Right.
So the visual intelligence, it's hard. It's a hard game. Apple is in the job, in the role of giving visual intelligence through the iPhone currently. It's okay. It's a button, your camera button. If you hold that down on a recent iPhone, you can ask it a question of like, what dog is this? It'll give you the dog breed. What type of tree is this? It'll name the tree.
Exactly.
Is that what we're expecting from this AI pin if it does come about? Is that what the report says? Is it, what's the design look like? It mentioned that it might look like an AirTag.
So it to me, this sounds like it's going to be sort of the guts of like the upgraded AirPods Pro 3 that we're expecting later this year, except shrunken down into the size of an AirTag. So with AirPods Pro 3, we're like, there's a rumor that Apple's going to add a couple cameras to it. That's going to enable visual intelligence, and it's going to be able to like, you can speak to it through the microphones and everything, and it'll tell you what it sees and like educate you on your surroundings or whatever. This mysterious AirTag pin thing is supposed to basically do the same thing. There's going to be a couple cameras on it, microphone, speaker. You can probably attach it to your collar or something like that, or attach it to your bag.
Right.
And it looks like it'll just use visual intelligence, probably based on like the new Gemini models and everything Apple's going to use. It's a very peculiar product because we've seen this before from other companies and it just utterly fails. So I don't know like where Apple sees value in a pin like this. If they're going to just build this, they have it built into the iPhone already. If they're going to build it into AirPods, do they need a separate product that just does that one thing that they're probably going to charge like $100 for?
And also, it's probably going to be on your iPhone anyway.
No, exactly. Like it's already on our phones. It'll be built into your headphones soon. And then they're also just going to sell this weird little AirTag thing. I mean, unless it's just an AirTag that also does all that stuff, maybe that's useful. But like, I don't know. I toss that in my backpack.
That's the number one question we have with a lot of recent technology, starting with the Rabbit R1, right? It was, why do I need this in my life? My iPhone can do all this and more. So I'm guessing that there's going to be a lot of skepticism. They really have to sell it. It seems like it's not around the corner, right? It's not
Probably 2027 at the earliest, and I would imagine late 2027 because they got to get a lot of stuff out first.
Exactly. They have MacBooks. They have new iPhones, iPhone Fold,
and they have like 3 other new products that they're going to launch. They have like a smart home display thing that's supposed to come out pretty soon. They have smart glasses that they're supposed to put out in early 2027. There's like a lot of brand new stuff coming before this thing even like becomes a thought in our head. Like this was a very random leak yesterday, I feel like.
Right.
I don't think I've seen anything like this.
No, it's from The Information, by the way. That's the source. We have that story on theshortcut.com where we cite the information, and it could be a thing, and there's a chance that it's something that Apple is developing, a product that never sees the light of day, which happens.
Kind of like the Apple Car, kind of like the Apple TV.
Yeah, the Apple TV that is different from the Apple TV set-top box. It's
an actual television,
an actual television that they were developing at one time, and decided not to get in that game and decided to exit the car race. And those are, I think it was called Project Titan, that Apple was developing an electric car. Not going to happen anymore. They hired a lot of people to do it. That's how usually we know about these leaks is, HR is just like nabbing top people from Tesla and so forth. This one is just, it's an interesting, I'm a little more optimistic of, we kind of discussed yesterday of having a camera record snippets of your life so you don't have to constantly pull out your iPhone. I like the idea of that. I don't know that AI can solve for everything. one of the things that confused me about like the plan that Rabbit R1 had was it'll call an Uber for you with just like a tap. And I'm like, I like going into the options and seeing, okay, do I want an Uber X or okay, Uber Comfort, not that much more. And actually it'll arrive faster, right?
Sure.
So I like seeing that information and not having a visual, a display laying out that information. I'm like, I don't know if I actually trust it, especially when the
Right.
car comes and you're grabbing that Uber and it's like, oh, it's actually across the street. If you're relying on AI, I'm wondering what the selling point is if it doesn't have a screen.
It's very unclear whether this mysterious AI pin thing is going to be a great success or if it's just going to hit the AI graveyard like we've seen Humane do, we've seen Bee do. It's such a wild, like, here's a random thing Apple might be coming out with.
Right.
I just don't get it.
I find
definitely
it
don't
very.
think.
No,
Sorry,
Go ahead,
Cameron,
Adam.
go ahead. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, I was going to say, I definitely don't think they'll take Humane's beam it onto the palm of your hand in green, hard to read text idea. I mean, that just.
You're
it looked
saying
cool
Apple's not
in
going to build a
trailers.
projector into this thing?
Yeah, it looked cool, but it's not going to happen.
It did look cool. I loved that
was a cool
part of it. It
interface.
just didn't actually work. And that is the problem with the Humane AI pin, the Rabbit R1. There was another thing out there that, Friend is the thing that has a lot of marketing budget and a killer
So much
domain,
marketing budget.
the friend.com. But no one actually wants to wear this. I think we discussed this on the show yesterday and saw it at CES when Eric from Pebble had a ring that could take voice notes. And it's like, oh, if you're a stand-up comedian or someone who just needs that spur of the moment note, that's kind of interesting.
It's a record and then just summarizes on your phone.
Right. Uses a little bit of AI in the right way.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, okay, that could actually be useful, but the rest of the stuff, I don't know if they're marketing it correctly or it has the right technology or a little bit of both.
Right. I don't believe in like an all-in-one AI device. I feel like that sort of
It kind of has to just be built into everything, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like I've never really understood just having something strictly for AI. I'm just like, that technology exists. My phone is powerful enough to power it all. Just put it in there. I'm going to still carry the same thing I've been carrying around for 10 years. Like just.
So, what would you say is the top AI involved company right now? And it's not who we thought it was, maybe 2 years ago. Who's doing AI the best?
AI the best.
It's a great
NVIDIA?
question. I feel like Google.
Exactly. That brings us to our next story, right? Google is definitely, you got the answer right.
I didn't realize there was a right answer. You were asking my opinion.
I was asking your
Survey
opinion, but
says Google.
there's some fact backing that
NVIDIA's
up.
doing a good job with AI as well.
NVIDIA's doing a good job. I meant more like AI chatbot. But NVIDIA is probably doing AI the best in terms of, amping up performance by doubling frame rates and, getting the texture squeezing it out of a smaller, almost laptop sized GPU, getting some desktop class performance. I think that's the right use of AI. Qualcomm is showing a bunch of AI demos every once in a while. The proper use of AI, some of the chatbots are hit or miss. We kind of ragged on Perplexity, which I will
Rag on again.
every day. Just a thief of a CEO over there. But, I feel a lot of people are turning away from ChatGPT as much as it was like the darling of Silicon Valley for the past 3 years. Now it's Google just kind of wiping the floor with, the competition. They have Gemini and AI overviews, which is why we're doing a live show, because that tends to take our content and paraphrase it, and there's no reason to click through. So, hey, we're starting a new program, and we love the fact that, hundreds of thousands of people are tuning in. So that's a really cool thing. But they may be backing Siri for now, and Apple may be doing a full-fledged chatbot in iOS 27 and Mac OS 27. Max, tell us about that. I know you wrote that story about how it may come out this fall. What are the details on that? Because they're supposed to use Gemini.
Yeah.
what's kind of the breakdown of what they're going to use and what they're going to develop on their own?
So it sounds like they're just going to use Google's technology, sort of like their AI intelligence, if you will. Apple will take that, build it into their own model called the Apple Foundation model. So this thing already exists. They have multiple different versions of this. They were trying to develop their own internally for a long time without any sort of third-party support. But then they had a bunch of issues, and it was getting things wrong all the time. They couldn't get it to perform as fast as they wanted. So they were just like, let's just go with a third party's AI, because clearly there's other people doing this better than us.
Exactly.
So they licensed Gemini. They're going to build it into Apple Foundation model version 10 and 11. Version 11 is the one that's going to power this brand new version of Siri that's supposed to basically just be a ChatGPT or Gemini clone. So you can type to it as you would ChatGPT. You can generate images, you can generate videos, you can do research and stuff. I think the kicker here is going to be that Siri knows you because you use, this is going to be perfectly designed for anybody that uses a bunch of Apple devices. Like, they know how often you use your Mac, your iPhone, what's on all of your devices, the files on it, your emails, your contacts, your calendar, everything. So you'll be able to talk to Siri and be like, hey, I want to, could you please just email this person and tell them the thing that I just scheduled on my calendar? It's for both of us. I just didn't RSVP it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it can send emails on your behalf. It's going to be able to do a bunch of stuff that we don't know yet. They're just saying that it's going to be far more powerful, far more intelligent than it ever has before. It's basically just going to be ChatGPT, but like Siri, and it can finally understand you and isn't, a complete moron.
Yeah.
Which will be life-changing for everybody.
Half the time I say, no thanks, Siri. Shut up,
Exactly.
Siri.
I mean, I yell at Siri on a daily basis and tell
Same.
Siri to shut up when it just randomly gets triggered.
Yes.
It also, the very basics it can't understand when I tell the Siri to turn on the lights.
Yes.
What do you think happens?
Would you like me to use ChatGPT for that?
I hate that. Even worse, I have some lights on. I just want it to turn on all the lights. Turns all the lights off.
Well,
And I have to enunciate it like a robot. And stuff like that needs to get fixed before we get into the weeds of doing complex multi-model AI tasks. We do have a question from Substack. So we're streaming on all platforms: X, YouTube, Instagram, and also Substack, which just launched a TV app today, or they announced it for today. And now Josh joined us through Substack, which is great because we sent an email notification that we're doing this daily live show around 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Josh says, definitely not an early adopter for the AI pin, which is totally okay. It's, we're putting out the news. We're not advocating for buying stuff unless we think it's really good. This one's kind of a complete unknown. The question is, did you say it would use Gemini or another proprietary LLM? So what's the breakdown there?
Technically, it's going to use Gemini. All of Apple's AI is going to use Gemini at the core. You're never going to see Gemini. You're never going to see a Google logo anywhere. It's going to have, all of Apple's privacy built into it. It's going to have all the security implications. And it'll be able to access all of the information you have in your Apple account across all your Apple products and stuff like that. But at the core of all of it is basically just going to be Gemini. And the same way that if you Google something in Safari, if you open up Safari for the first time on a brand new iPhone, it's just Google. You're just going to google.com. So it's sort of like that, except far more discreet.
Technically, we're already seeing that kind of thing with Galaxy AI, Samsung's Galaxy AI.
Yes.
Bixby is not powering most of that stuff.
No, it's definitely not Bixby. I forget who Samsung's using. I think they're using
Google.
Is it Gemini?
Yeah.
Is Bixby Gemini?
No,
So
Bixby is Samsung's own proprietary on the phone.
Well, they have they have their own assistant, but they start to integrate some AI stuff.
Yes, and if it's scraping the web and doing
model?
stuff, that is powered by Google.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So all their circle of search, all their
Yes, it's just
Gemini,
it's just Gemini then.
We'll see next month because we kind of had highlighted that rumor that Samsung Unpacked might happen next month, not confirmed, but they usually premier new Google initiatives in the S20. It'll be S26 this year, S25, S24. Last year, I think it was maybe in the fold, they had Gemini Live
Right.
with screen sharing.
Mhm.
So, and then the Pixel phones usually get that. So some sort of deal is happening there where Google is letting new Samsung phones run with their latest AI update, and then like a week or a month later, Pixel phones get it as well. So it's Samsung kind of positions that as we exclusively have this, but it's really a timed exclusive.
Exactly.
So yeah, it seems like the industry is kind of turning away from ChatGPT and OpenAI, which is a huge market leader, but
Yeah.
it hasn't had the innovation, especially with ChatGPT 5, that they had with like 4 and 3 and
Three,
so
yeah.
forth.
Google's also like Google is lagging like hard. They were barely catching up with Gemini for like almost 2 years. Now something at the top.
It struggled, especially in the outset. Adam, do you remember that where it was, you know, picking just the randomest stuff, and it got
Yeah.
lacking in the press about that. And I remember you wrote a story about it, and it was just
Yeah.
like, this is going nowhere. And all of a sudden, they turned the corner and they doubled down, and now it's pretty good.
Yeah, there's been less examples of when they were telling people to put like glue in the pizza, and you'd
That
say,
was
"Show me a
yeah, eat
historical figure," and
rocks,
it just and it just wouldn't
jump
be
off
right.
bridges,
Here's Will
stuff like
Smith.
that. Yes.
That's crazy.
Absolutely. This is kind of a fun factoid. You kind of mentioned the comparison, Max, with Safari and Google's integration into there. Google paid Apple approximately $20 billion in 2022 to remain the default search engine in the Safari browser, according to unsealed court documents from the Department of Justice antitrust case. That comes from Business Insider. It's known that Google pays a lot of money to Apple, in the billions, to be the search provider, the
Yes.
default search provider. You can use Bing if you want to, but it's not. You
Yeah.
have to go in and change that. It
The
just
AI deal's a bit different than that.
right.
It's a situation where Apple's paying Google $1
Mhm.
billion a year roughly. Nobody
Interesting.
knows the exact figure, but it sounds like it's about $1 billion a year. Apple also has it set up so that if they don't want to use Gemini anymore for their models, they
Mhm.
can just like unplug it and go with somebody else. So I think this might be. I don't think we have details on how long they signed. It's a multi-year agreement. I don't
Right.
know what multi-year means. It could be literally 2 years,
Sure.
but they have it set up somehow where I guess they're going to try this out, see what happens. If somebody else comes up, like if Perplexity or Claude or somebody like that comes up with better models and Apple wants to use them, they can easily switch them out, and
It
you
gives-
shouldn't notice anything on the surface.
It gives Apple a lot of leverage
Exactly.
when that comes up, because yeah, there's going to be a lot more competition. Google's maybe top dog right now, but the roller coaster in the AI world, it is fast moving and has its ups and downs. So yeah, there's also a revenue share in that Google Safari deal. So
Yes.
I'm wondering, Apple, yes, they're paying reportedly $1 billion to Google, which seems like a low sum.
I was gonna
but-
say it's a little bit low, and I'm sure it all evens out with that Safari deal.
Exactly. And also, what else is the makeup of the rev share? Because if Google is profiting, is there some sort of rev share? If Google's profiting from, I don't know, shopping links and ad revenue, because they're going to introduce ads into a lot of these answers, these chatbot answers. You know, ChatGPT announced, I think it was late last week, that they're going to start introducing ads for the free versions of ChatGPT. They did say at the end of what was it, last year, that that's going to be their last resort. All of a sudden,
They have-
OpenAI is that
they-
their last resort.
They absolutely have to do that. They're projected to lose $14 billion this year.
Yeah,
OpenAI is like a little bit screwed low key. That's
Right.
why they're like, hey, we have Johnny Ive, and he's going to make us like this really sick pair of headphones that
Right.
like can talk to you about like what they see.
I thought this office was expensive. That is it's 14
Well, this one only
with a
cost you
B.
$3 billion. No,
Right, exactly, of course.
So
In
it's like,
Manhattan,
yeah,
par for the course.
just a drop in the bucket for you.
Right. Kevin, can you prep and show off some brand new? This is almost like a a shopping channel from the days where you would see that on cable TV.
Yeah, I love. I always bring the hardware.
You bring the hardware,
We
and
love our shopping segments.
right.
it's exactly so. Like, we want to tell you,
Yeah.
almost like you walk into a Best Buy. If you can't make it out to Best Buy, we have some laptops to show
Yeah.
off that are brand new: the Asus ZenBook Duo and the MSI Prestige 14AI Plus Flip. These are brand new laptops. We kind of teased them on yesterday's
Yeah.
show, so tune in daily because you get a little bit of everything. And
Yeah.
today it's all about laptops. So
Yeah.
show us those killer laptops.
All right.
Which
So
one do you have first?
First up, this is the Asus Prestige ZenBook Duo. It's got 2 screens actually. So let me take off this
Kevin is
keyboard.
carefully not. Nope. I spoke too soon.
Too soon. As soon as you said careful,
I
you,
forgot to
jinxed
knock
me.
on
You
wood.
jinxed me. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, incredible! We've got that.
I set the clock. Yeah, just 0 days.
We joked about having a counter, and it's been 0 days
Yeah.
since Kevin has dropped something.
And it's
So-
still been 0 days.
We don't need 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't need those numbers.
No.
So-
Something fun is you can have a virtual keyboard, and then you basically swipe up twice with 3 fingers, and you have a trackpad, and also you have like these sort of interesting widgets where you can have all your control panel stuff.
So they just like built the bottom of the laptop into like an app on the second screen.
Well, basically, you can like have multiple windows going. You can have
Right.
different widgets going. There's a volume control panel. There's like this handwriting tool. Yeah, there we go.
How does it feel to type on that virtual keyboard, Kevin? Has it got like
not great.
haptics?
Not great.
Not great.
There's no haptics.
There's no haptics. Oh,
There's no haptics. Yeah. So if I
Yeah,
bring
that's-
this up,
that's tricky.
All right, Kevin.
it just at least makes a sound when you type.
Okay. Lenovo had something similar. How is this different from a dual screen laptop
Okay.
from Lenovo?
Yeah.
And I know Asus has a lot of durability attached to this. They
Right.
were showing that off at CES. Now that we have it in our hands,
Yeah.
what's the main benefit of a laptop like this?
Right. So you obviously more screen, more better. But also the fact that the big difference with this device is there's almost no bezels. Like the most bezel is like over here. It's like maybe half a centimeter, and then it's also just completely straight. Like there's no weird Z hinge. There's no extra screen.
It's
Also,
super
it's like-
thin.
yeah, it's like basically carrying a dual 14-inch screen monitor everywhere you go, except it's also your laptop. So
Right.
That's the main thing about the productivity and everything. That's great.
For travelers, that is definitely one of the biggest perks. Is like when I go away, when I fly, I want to bring my 6 monitors with me. Can't do it. TSA does not allow 6 monitors.
No
Yeah.
way.
No,
And you can
I
also-
don't.
Have
know
you
that.
have you tried this, Matthew?
I have
That's
not
what I'm
tried.
wondering.
I did have a kind of chat with Tim Cook, and he said that is real. I got like 5 minutes with him, and he said what's great about the Apple Vision Pro and the future that they're imagining from the Vision Pro is, I was telling about my 6 monitors attached to a Mac Pro, and he's like, you can't take those with you, can you? And I was like, no. He's like, that's the evolution of what they want to do with the Apple Vision Pro. Is you put on a headset and you have all these like floating screens around you. This is something, the Apple Vision Pro is not there yet for productivity. It does well with multimedia, kind of like simulated sitting in a theater. This is the stepping stone, a dual screen laptop.
Yeah.
So I'm super interested in seeing if this takes off. What kind of chipset does this Asus laptop
So
have
this
in
thing
it?
is running a Intel Core X9. Let me just pull it in
Very
there.
cool.
388H. So the big thing also is that this has the new Intel Arc B390 graphics with 128 gigabytes of video RAM, which is a lot of video RAM. Usually you're talking like 16, maybe 24, 32 if you got a lot of RAM, but this is going to let you game at 120 FPS at full resolution with thanks to all the new Arc Intel graphics updates.
That is top of the line. That's usually what we don't see from these almost concept dual screen laptops. Is like they back off the specs a little bit to have this thin and light design. And while that's all well and good, you're like, well, I just just give me the regular ZenBook.
No, exactly. Like if I open that thing up and I couldn't do anything on it because it doesn't have the horsepower, I'm like,
Right.
what did I buy
Right.
this for? Actually,
Right. So it's very conceptual, and now it seems to be coming into its own, where a dual screen laptop is definitely something that I could buy and not feel like I'm getting shortchanged.
Yeah.
We experienced that with like the foldable phones, where they had
Sure.
for a number of years the worst camera, and I'm like, I'm paying $1,800 instead of a little over $1,000 and getting a worse camera. That doesn't make any sense. Same thing is happening here. We're actually starting to get better specs and better performance out of these dual screen laptops, where, I mean, we just need Apple to enter the game. Hasn't happened yet, but you know, it's they're getting away with having an iPad on the side. So hey, buy 2 devices, but
exactly.
that's
And
that's
that
their
costs you
step.
like $5,000.
Of course, why not?
And so how much is that one by comparison?
So this one's different. This is the MSI Prestige
Oh,
14
nice.
AI Plus. Sorry if that didn't
Kevin
answer your
switched out
question.
on us.
Sorry if I didn't answer your question. I actually don't know
Yeah,
the price yet.
It's
Okay.
all right. Some of these prices aren't set. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They just got announced at CES. Yeah, tell us about the MSI Prestige AI, the 14
Yeah.
AI Plus Flip.
So this is only a single screen laptop, which may not seem as cool, but it does flip.
Oh,
So you can use it as a tablet, and also it has the big thing for me is it has this deployable pen right here. So you pull that back.
hold that up.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you pull that back, it'll unlatch, and then you can just pull out this pen. You have a stylus wherever you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like having, I don't know, a Samsung S Pen,
Yeah.
and you get to use it on the screen,
Oh, yeah.
which is nice.
Yep. The big thing is also like MSI usually known for their gaming laptops, but now it's like they got this really nice thin light laptop. It's got an amazing screen.
I was gonna say, I think from afar, I would guess that's like a Lenovo or a Dell.
Right.
It does not look like an MSI laptop at all
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, we're
Simply-
usually used to these big, chunky MSI, like gaming
Yeah.
beasts.
RGB lights everywhere.
Yeah.
That looks like a nice little
Yeah.
notebook.
Yeah,
Nice.
they're going pretty hard into like regular streamlined consumer laptops now.
Nice.
Yeah. So we are getting some desks in. Uplift is sending at least one desk for review. And
Ooh.
then, more to come on that one. But we are going to actually build out a bit of a showcase so that when we show
Their
off
smart
these
laptop.
laptops,
Yeah.
we can almost have like a virtual Best Buy in here, where, just like the shopping channels, there's a couple out there that we're kind of like, we need a new spin on that. That's what we want to do.
Yeah.
Show off the hardware in person, live on a daily basis, and bring that to you in whatever platform you're on. So that's what the Shortcut Live is all about.
Yep.
Reacting to the stories, not having to wait a week for the your weekly tech podcast. It's daily here, and also showing off little QVC format. Yeah, I said it. So that is that's what we're trying to
But
bring
it's
to
not
an
like
audience.
QVC for like an old generation, right? It's like QVC for
I would say a modern generation.
our generation.
Has a ring to it internally.
I like it.
So yeah. Let's go to the next story. And
Josh says thanks for talking about the AI pin firm.
oh, nice. Thanks for asking the question. We appreciate the interactivity. We see people joining. Feel free to ask us questions. It's an interactive show. We're actually seeing the comments live, which is pretty cool. So we're cycling through all the names popping up, which is awesome. We on Monday we broke 10,000 viewers on X, so we're gaining an audience, which is nice. So
We broke more than that. We broke 100.
Oh, sorry, 100,000.
150, I think was the last count. Or,
Yeah, I saw it 137 last night, and it's been trending upwards. So we're like trending on the sidebar over at X. I can see us. We're the number 2 show. We don't do any politics here, so that's why we're number 2 instead of number 1. But you know what? We'll get there. We just started. Okay. Wah, wah, wah.
I
The
will
sounds
say,
crack me up.
feel free to keep commenting. I'd like to continue my push to get $1 for every comment that is left on the live show from Matt.
About that initiative, Max, I do believe I commented yesterday Do I get a piece of this monetary scam you've
Adam,
got going on?
Adam, as far as I know, Matt has to Venmo us all however much money we get from the
Oh.
comments.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
great.
yesterday he owed me and Kevin $6 each.
And I paid
So far-
$0 of this fake initiative.
He has paid us nothing.
These paid us nothing.
I will be keeping receipts from every episode. By the end of the year, he's probably going to owe me like at least $250,000.
And we should put interest on that.
Probably at least a couple points. No,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
See, that's 3 comments. That's $3 total. Matt,
Mhm.
$3.
Matt Shargle joining on X saying, here to bankrupt Swider,
Yeah.
which
Aw,
Oh.
I feel the love.
he is here to bring $4.
And Joe Bondano, which, I mean, come on, this is insider trading here, says,
really.
enjoy all the info.
It could be any
It
Bondano.
I'm
could be
going
any
to-
Bondano,
Could be any Bondano.
not related to Max Bondano at
No.
all.
There's a
Hey, bro.
lot of those. It's like as common as
Oh
like.
wait, we got an
Tom or
emoji comment right now.
I think emojis don't count as much as I love emojis.
Wait, you just said you love emojis.
I do love emojis, not when they bankrupt me.
Did you ever think you were going to get bankrupt by 6'7"?
No. Oh, yeah. So thank you, Shargle. Appreciate the love and hate at the same time.
Mhm.
So thanks for joining. We'll have to have you on the show. Stop by the new office in Manhattan anytime. So all right. Speaking of not getting political, this one touches on politics a little bit, but not really because that's not what we do. The TikTok deal got confirmed. U.S. and China agree to terms. So you may be seeing some changes, maybe in the background, of what's happening with TikTok and the fact that, as planned, it took a while, it took a little bit longer, probably a year longer than expected, but there was a deal that was made in December, and the January 22nd deadline is here. There is a new company being formed. It's valued at around $14 billion, according to the vice president. ByteDance still owns 20% of this new company that's been formed. It's called TikTok USDS Joint Venture LLC, which is a mouthful of a name. You'll still know it as TikTok, but it's going to be owned by Oracle, Silver Lake, an Abu Dhabi-based firm called MGX. That's who's going to own 50% of the business. It doesn't mean TikTok will shut down. Around this time last year, that's what was happening.
I think it was like 2 days ago or something. It was like 1 year to the day where it shut down for a couple hours.
And everybody was like freaking out. All
Yeah.
the creators on there were fleeing to Instagram and figuring out what happens next for their livelihood of, if you're at 100,000 followers on there or more, you have potential to make bank, especially with TikTok shopping.
Exactly.
The good news is TikTok should remain the same, but the big change is it could introduce a new algorithm. It's not really clear right now. That secret sauce, does that come with the new company? The good news is the big fear of, as China get control of our user data, that should be kind of nerfed, at least for now. And that is, it makes it for us, we kind of did not put our eggs in a TikTok basket. Obviously, at 800,000 followers on X, I kind of gravitate towards X a little bit more. Substack is our next biggest platform, and then Instagram and YouTube. We really haven't paid attention to TikTok because it was a riskier proposition. This app could close at any point, as it did for about 3 days a year ago. So this is good news, and it should make people more comfortable with making deals with TikTok, knowing it's not going to face a ban like it did a year ago.
Exactly. Yeah. This whole deal is basically to ensure that, not only do U.S. citizens feel more comfortable using TikTok and ensuring that like their data doesn't get handed over to, Chinese spies, as, things were reported in the past. But it also it means that the U.S. government's just going to be way more comfortable operating with TikTok, because now they'll have all the U.S. operations on their own shores. Oracle a long time ago was supposed to be the company to buy the U.S. portion of TikTok, so they're getting a good sized chunk of that. Silver Lake, obviously, MGX has a little bit of it. This is just going to ease tensions for the time being. It's extremely unclear whether anything's going to change with TikTok. My guess would be no. But like, you know, if there's a whole separate LLC doing something, I don't know if they have any bit of the algorithm. I don't know if they control any aspects like that. They just handle privacy and data right now. But if they have a bit of the algorithm chunk, then we could start to see some type of change, but I don't even really know what that would mean.
Let's go back to the comments. Love my boy Matt says Josh Koa, right? And then on the second line, he says he looked out so much, which I appreciate. I was probably referring to the PS5. Josh, this is costing me $1 every time.
That
Max,
was $2.
$2. That's $2.
That was $2 whole.
Josh, I love the love, but you
Don't
could have
forget
put
the
that on
emoji.
one line.
Don't forget the emoji.
You could have fit. Oh, there's an emoji
There's
as well. You guys could have fit this on one line.
That's like $3-4 right there.
But yeah. So the more comments that come in, the more these guys get paid.
I lost track. This is a very big show for me.
Yeah.
I might have like a free lunch by the end.
We're bumping up to a Subway sandwich now.
Only the
know,
6
it was
inches now. Sorry, guys. Price has gone up on tariffs on the bread.
Wow.
No.
Yeah. But no, I appreciate the love, Josh. Thanks for leaving comments. And Josh Bondano confirms my suspicions, my investigation. He says, perhaps an insider. There's insider trading happening in this comment section.
Perhaps he is an insider. Who's to say?
All right, so let's turn to the gaming portion of what we want to talk about, regarding consumer tech. Obviously, we covered Nintendo Switch a lot. There's some updates to one of the key games, which is Mario Kart Worlds. That is something where we are going to continue to play that as a team. Still fun all these months later. We're up to, I don't know, it's been like 9-10 months since that came out. And then Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Adam, you're our resident video game expert and also a Nintendo alum at one time in your life. So tell us about what we can expect if we're booting up this game and it annoys us with, there's an update. It's like, all right, what am I getting out of this?
So yeah, the last 2 days, Nintendo are really funny like this. They've just gone, we're going to drop loads of Switch 2 news. They've been really quiet recently, and they're just like, here it all is, random times, soak it all up. So the first one, let's start with an older game, is Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. That's now been given a Nintendo Switch 2 update, so it's going to look better. The resolution's been bumped. It's not going to look as jaggy or blurry, which is quite nice. They fixed a load of fan-requested bugs as well, like DK had missing fur, which is terrifying for parts in the game, and just little gameplay tweaks. But they've also added Dixie Kong as a playable character, which is really nice because she brings new abilities and it changes the platforming gameplay. As you can see in the video here, she lets you jump higher. You can use her ponytail, her hair to whip across gaps. And if you had played Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, she was a character on there. So you might have been a little bit disappointed to then go back to Donkey Kong Country Returns HD and be like, where's Dixie Kong? She's not here, but she is here now. So that's great news. And they've also added Game Share, which is it's a nice feature. It basically means if you own the game and you have another Switch owner at home, they can play it. But it's probably a game which is best enjoyed side by side on a big TV anyway. So that's the first update. So that's great. Then Mario Kart World update. Now they still haven't added new characters, which is a bummer. We were still waiting for the Koopalings and all the rest of them to come, but they have updated Knockout Tour, which is definitely the game's best mode. Now, if you haven't played Knockout Tour, essentially what you do is 24 races start, and then every checkpoint you lose the lowest ranked 4 drivers until you get all the way to the end. I have been playing it obsessively. I think I'm up to like over 8,000 score now because I'm just the best at the game in the world. And it's great, but they've added a new way of playing it. So you can now tackle the mode as team-based. So that can split it down the middle into 2 teams, and then depending on where you finish, adds up the points and see who's going to win. So it kind of puts a bit more strategy in, a little bit more fun. And you can also do teams of 4. So you can have it for, I can't remember what the exact split of drivers are, but it's a really good update, and it just gives people a reason to return to the game if they've jumped away from it. Hopefully Nintendo keeps doing that with Mario Kart World. It does still need maybe some more tracks as we get going, more characters. There's loads of people they can add still, so that's a great update if you want to get back onto that. Then So there's a big Switch 2 update. I wasn't lying.
Mhm.
They've released the release date for Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 edition and Meetup in Bella Bell Park. That's the actual title of the game. That's what Nintendo do. It's just ridiculous. But that's out March 26th. Mainly focuses on multiplayer. So if you've played Super Mario Bros. Wonder, you finished the game, but you thought this would be better played with a few friends. That'll be solved with this update. It costs $19.99 to upgrade. So you can play these new levels with 4 friends locally or 12 players online. And there's also new challenges in the way of Toad Brigade's training camp. So you've got some single player stuff in there as well. Rosalina is being added as a new character, which is great because the Super Mario Galaxy movie is on the way and she'll be a big part of that. So Nintendo clearly want to make Rosalina more of a household name like Princess Peach, which is great. And there's also a new mode which has you tracking down the Koopalings, who again absent from Mario Kart World, so maybe they'll be coming. Maybe that's a little tease. And they're releasing 3 amiibo alongside that. So if you still collect amiibo, if you still like amiibo, they're going to be there for you. I kind of stopped doing that a long time ago. And weirdly, probably the weirdest thing is they're releasing the talking flower from the Super Mario Bros. Wonder game. Now, if you haven't played it, you can see it in the trailer here. There's these flowers scattered about and they just say random things. You can have that in your own home if you want. You can have a little flower which will just randomly say stuff. Apparently talks like every 2 hours. It can sync up with the time, so it can say, time for bed or good morning. And then it can also somehow figure out the temperature as well. And it can be like it's a cold one. I don't know who this is for, honestly. It's like, it's not AI and it's not like a chatbot. It's just literally like something that's just gonna fill the dead air in your lonely home, I guess. I don't know.
I like the
It's-
physical
it's-
thing, the Alarmo clock that
Yeah.
that Nintendo sells for about
Yeah.
like $100. I think it's now $110. Thank you to inflation. That to me is more useful and kind of fun. And you have a
Yeah, this makes no sense.
yeah.
I was actually wondering if it also acts as an alarm clock because it looks like the Alarmo, like the same shape,
Same size,
same
right?
shape-ish. Yeah.
I think it can say like good morning, but it's not going to wait. It's not. It's not going to get you out of bed. It's a really odd. It's one for collectors, I guess. It's one
Yeah.
for real diehard Nintendo fans.
Will it be smarter than Siri? That is my only question. It's debatable.
It's in Siri's current state. Yes, you could probably set at least one timer on the talking flower, and it'll get it right.
That is more than Siri can do sometimes,
That's all
Exactly.
I need.
Currently.
right? I mean, I'm like, yeah, that's what we all use it for.
But yeah, so lots of Switch 2 stuff, which is good because it would just establish itself again as the fastest selling console of all time. People are loving it. There's rumors of a price increase coming, so if you are on the fence, it might be a good time to get one. And plus, you'll get access to Game Chat for free because that runs out at the end of March, on March 31st, the online mode that lets you talk with friends. So soon that'll be locked behind a Nintendo Switch Online subscription as well. So could go up, but great to see that Nintendo is supporting older games
Sure.
and making them better.
Thank you for that rundown. During that time, Matt Shargle piped in again, cost me $1, saying the shortcut Mario Kart stream when. That's
Ooh.
The
I mean-
second Matt buys me a Nintendo Switch 2 is like when we can start playing.
I said that's out there.
Mm.
Kevin, did you buy your Nintendo Switch too?
I don't have Wi-Fi, but I will.
You bought one though, right?
Oh yes, I bought one.
Oh, okay, that's all right,
That's
all right.
nice for him.
And
I put
Adam,
it right next to you.
And yes, and Adam, that's why I'm asking the question. See where I'm going with this. And Adam,
Look.
you have
Yeah.
a Nintendo Switch 2 that is your own.
Yes. And I did put this into the show notes, so I'm glad it's been picked up. The other day, my record against Kevin and Matt was brought up, and I just wanted to prove that I am indeed undefeated. I'm 1-0 against
T champion.
Spider-Man.
You
Really?
played one game and
Kevin
then said it's
there.
too late in the UK, and then just signed off.
But let the
For a
record show
rematch.
that I am undefeated and I am the grand champion. So
So Matt Shargle, when you get here into the New York office, we're gonna have a giant TV. I think TCL is giving us our first TV. It's being shipped right now. Thank you to TCL. We're gonna have some Mario Kart tournaments. We will have a Switch 2 for the office.
That's fine.
That's how
with
we'll
all
get
these
Max
comments,
on.
though, Max, you could probably get one this afternoon.
We're right next door to a Best Buy, really.
Funk Daddy, a frequent commenter on X and is piping in through X right now. Question number 1 seems like a multi-part question. What's the latest
Costly.
rumors on the Galaxy Ultra watch? You know what? We usually don't see a lot of rumors on new Galaxy watches, but they do come out alongside the fold phones, the flip and fold,
Yes.
right? So it may be a couple months before we hear any rumors, like usually right up before the launch that happens. Usually in July, late July.
We'll probably start hearing rumors about it maybe in March or April.
Right after the S26
yeah,
launches, it's like that almost 6 month and 6 month period. You start to get the buildup of rumors from Samsung.
Right, and you get the leaks and everything like that. So far, we haven't heard anything about a new Ultra. It seems that Samsung's updating the Galaxy Watch Ultra almost as like frequently as Apple's updating the Apple Watch Ultra, which is like maybe once every 2 years or so.
Right.
Because last year they just did like a new color, some new bands. I think maybe they updated something, maybe the battery life or something. But
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think every 2 years they come out with the Galaxy Watch Classic. So that's
like, also true.
And they came out with it last year. That's the one I wear when I wear a Samsung Galaxy Watch. It came out last year, so it's probably going to be another year, not this year, next year, that we'll see a classic. The classic from Samsung Galaxy, that line, is the one that has the dial, the physical dial, or
The
physical
very nice
crown.
rotating bezel.
The rotating bezel is the best thing about that.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge fan. It looks elegant, looks like a real watch, and instead of scrolling through the watch, you're rotating the bezel with a physical mechanical button, and that's super cool.
It's very nice. But I don't, as far as the Ultra is concerned, we haven't heard anything yet. More than likely, we'll start hearing stuff in April if there's going to be a new model.
Right. Yeah. And it's usually tries to answer 2 months before what Apple is planning. So whatever Apple plans, expect Samsung to be trying to come out with the answer 2 months before Apple does.
Right.
That's usually how it works. It's very much whatever you are doing, we're going to try to do it better. That's their relationship. There's one more gaming story in the script. It is something that is what we call breaking news. Because it just happened.
Breaking news.
There we go.
Breaking news.
Wow.
First time using that sound effect. Love it. We're going to try to do that as much as possible because we are live. We're on daily. So when something happens during the show, we send our UK correspondent, Adam, because he's ahead of us on time zones and just...
Do you think he's like ahead of us in the future? Is that what you're?
I don't think that's actually how time zones work.
That's what he's been telling me for the past. I don't know, Adam. How long have we been working together? Is it 6 years now?
Yeah, maybe.
6 years.
Yeah, 6. Yeah.
When I hired Adam at Tech Radar, and then immediately fled to Egypt, and I had to text him, "Yo, I'm not going to be there for your first day. I've been captured by the."
It's 3 weeks. It felt like
it was. Yeah. So sorry about that, bud. Anyways, you are in the future. At least that's what you tell me, and your paycheck depends on it. It is great to have Adam in a different time zone because when we wake up, the stories are already flowing on theshortcut.com, the #1 consumer tech site on Substack. So do subscribe. But something happened during the show. The Xbox Developer Direct News Roundup went up, and you got some breaking news, some trailers to show us what kind of new technology is happening at Xbox. It's a lot more software than hardware these days. But yeah, what's new over in the Xbox camp?
Yeah, so the Xbox Developer Direct took place again, which is kind of like Microsoft's big annual thing now. It started off quite small, and it always gives you a deep dive into some upcoming games, and they usually have a surprise for us as well, and that's happened again. But this year's Developer Direct is particularly special because we've been waiting for absolutely ages. I think it's 5 years for Fable's release date, and we've also been anticipating a new Forza Horizon 6, which was teased at the Tokyo Game Show. It's set in Japan. We have most of the information we want. Microsoft typically don't like giving dates out. They just really don't. But Forza Horizon 6 is out on May 19th of this year. The PS5 version is coming to PS5. That'll be later. So if you have Sony's console, you have to wait a little while. It's available on Xbox and PC straight away, though. The other game that they showed off was Beast of Reincarnation. Now, that's a game by Pokemon developer Game Freak. They do make other games, believe it or not. That's out in summer 2026. So that's nice and vague for us, but that looks quite good. And then Fable, which they finally showed off some proper gameplay footage, that is out autumn 2026. So again, we don't have a specific date, we have a window, but it is this year. There's no more delays. And not only is it going to be released on Xbox and PC, at the same time, it seems it will also be released on PS5. So that'll be the first time Fable ever comes to PS5 or a Sony platform, just like Halo is, just like Gears did. Everything you knew and loved, all the rules have been broken by Microsoft's decision to put software everywhere. So PS5 owners can look forward to that. And Forza Horizon 6 is obviously going to be massive for both companies. Forza Horizon 5 just released on the PS5 recently, many years after it came on Xbox. I think it sold another 5 million on PS5. People love Forza Horizon. And the Japan setting, I've been to Japan 3 times, love Japan. People have wanted it for ages. It looks great. But there was also a surprise announcement from Double Fine, another Xbox developer, when they bought every single developer under the sun. They announced a game called Kiln, where it seems like you create your own character out of pottery, and it's an online multiplayer brawler. And that's also coming to Xbox, PS5, PC, spring 2026. So there was lots of announcements, a couple of solid dates, a couple of windows. Xbox has got games, guys.
It
But
seems
is
like
anyone going to buy the hardware?
it seems like it is a certified third-party developer now
Feels like it.
over at Microsoft. That is the interesting plot twist. I said to somebody, they started with games like, what was it, Indiana Jones and other ones that were coming to PlayStation initially, the PlayStation brand. And it was like, all right, those are your developed games. They're coming, but it's not Halo. And then last year, Halo dropped for PlayStation 5. And I think I tweeted like how it was like shocking. And someone said, really, are you surprised? Because there was that, slow drip into going on PlayStation, like getting Microsoft software and Xbox software on PlayStation. And I'm like, no, I am not surprised, but I am still shocked that the shoe finally dropped and it actually happened. So seeing that bit of rivalry from, I don't know, Xbox came out in 2001, seeing that kind of just hit, like kind of fold in and just be at an end, it still shocks me to this day. So yeah, we're seeing Fable come to the PlayStation PS5. That's still
there really is now. There really is now, just off the top of my head, with Halo coming to PS5 with the Halo campaign evolved. The only outstanding big game is probably Starfield.
Okay.
And that is rumored as well to be very close. It's going to get like a big cyberpunk-esque revamp, and they're going to try and tell everyone, look how good it is now. We've got all these new features, and hopefully it being on PS5 is going to give it a boost. But yeah, there's not really any franchises now that remain solely on Microsoft. So if you are into console warring and that, I mean, I used to love console warring. I still do. It's something we all enjoy, but those days are kind of over unless you've got a PS5 and a Nintendo.
Yeah, those are the two only warring companies, and they seem a little friendly as well. So a lot of people own both just because Nintendo hardware isn't the most expensive. It got a little more expensive this generation, but 2000, the year 2000, right? No, sorry, year 2020 it came out. The PS5 came out, and then 2025 Switch 2 came out. 5 years is a lot of time for someone to say, okay, I have enough money saved up to buy a Switch 2 as well. And they're two very different platforms. So the console warring between Nintendo and Sony PlayStation, not really a big factor. Whereas in 2020, the PlayStation 5 came out and the Xbox Series X came out at the same time. And it's like, you're buying one or the other, at least at the initial outset. So those days feel like they're long gone, but that is okay. We are wrapping up the show. I'm going to kind of go over some of the different Substack. Oh, you know what's really interesting? The live show appears on our the Substack.com.
Did that just trip you up when you
It
went
did
there?
trip me up
Yeah.
because I heard my own voice, and I was like,
Are we
"Who's
broadcasting?
listening to this guy for an hour?" But yeah, it broadcasts at the very top of the shortcut.com. So if you want a quick way at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific to watch us, you can do that. So yeah, we are going over the recent posts. Adobe adds generative AI powers to Acrobat and Express to help you create presentations. So that's an interesting development. I almost want the opposite. It helps you create a podcast. I want our podcast to be in like Adobe Express and Acrobat. So maybe they'll have a two-way transfer there. And there's my voice again as I refresh the page. Great. Mario Kart World, kind of went over the update. So if you want that in written form, and also the Xbox Developer Direct. So we have the summary of that on the shortcut.com, along with those Galaxy S26 Ultra leaks. So Funk Daddy, you were in the comments asking about a lot of Samsung stuff over the past 2 days. There's all that news and more on the shortcut.com, which is the #1 consumer tech site on Substack. So do subscribe because I got to get these guys paid.
Speaking of getting paid, I would just like to say that there have been 11 comments today, and Matt, you owe all of us $11 each.
You know, I think it should be split up amongst you guys.
No,
So
it's not how it
No
works.
tax on tips.
That's not in our contract.
It's not in our contract at all.
Yeah.
Actually,
yes, none of this is. They're just made this up out of whole cloth.
it's our contract.
But we have live records, live recording records of this contract.
Okay, I'm going to tell the Launch Live Now team that
Oh, there you
runs
go.
the show to
There's
burn
$12.
all
$12.
Burn all
$12.
insider trading. So
So what's good? Yeah.
every time they get a comment, I will pay them $1 split among the four of us.
That's split.
And
That's split.
100% goes to
Four
me,
of us?
0% goes to you guys.
It's for us. It ain't for you.
The guy who runs the show. Anyways, thank you for joining us. Thank you for the show. Great show, Adam. So
It's another comment.
Oh,
who's this
there
guy?
you go.
Who's this guy?
Ooh, yes.
This guy
Well,
looks like a good listener.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
well, return tomorrow for the Shortcut Live, where apparently the rules are made up and only the staff gets paid here, besides me. Who would have thunk it? So thank you for tuning in. We'll be live at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. Join us on all the platforms: X, Substack, Instagram, YouTube. We're going to be live every day, bringing you the latest in tech news, consumer tech news. And we are now the #1 show that is streaming on X.com. So that is good. And we overtook the #1 show. So
Wow.
yeah, in real-time stats, look at that.
Okay.
Right at the top.
Nice.
Love that. Sorry, TBPN. But anyways, we will be back tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. And we will see you in 24 hours, 23 hours.
23 hours.
Bye.
Hey.
See ya.
Yeah.